Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Daily Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. I already shuffled. We're going to do relationship first, single second, and oracle cards come out where needed. The Hanged Man is at the bottom. The Hanged Man. Hanged Man. I'm getting the Hanged Man as a big thing here. Right behind that is the Sun card, just so you know, and the Victory card right after that. So you're going towards a better moment here. The question is, how are you viewing it currently? Because I'm getting the Four of Wands where you're standing. Very stable, very secure in this relationship, very much engaged. To me, you feel very engaged in this relationship. I also see you, though, being very perceptive, and you're watching your partner. And I see your partner kind of skulking away, not skulking, but kind of like drifting away from you right now. This is a minor arcana card, though. It's not a permanent drift away, but they seem to be drifting away. Ironically, as they're drifting away from you, they also get the Five of Pentacles, where they're feeling a little, I want to say, lost. Like, for some reason, they're not connecting with you. The thing is, the reason I'm seeing this a problem, because I see you watching it, I see you observing it, I see them drifting away, I see them, while they drift away, feeling a little disconnected from you. This is becoming a bad pattern. It seems to be a bad pattern that they're just allowing to happen, and that's not good. Excuse me. Communication may be a problem for this person. Now, if they're a person that normally communicates and you can get them to talk without problem, or they'll start communication, it may not be that they don't actually talk, but what they're actually talking about. Excuse me. This, there's a pattern. It feels like it's their pattern, where they're feeling a little lonely, and then they kind of just fade away as if you don't have enough time for them. This is a bad pattern. I feel like this is a bad pattern that this moment could actually snap this into focus. This has to be addressed, and it may have to be constantly addressed in the future, but once you start addressing it, there can be a road to improvement and more improvement over time. There could be a very bad pattern on the other person's side. I've seen you here with organization and love. I feel like creating a pattern that could correct the failing pattern is not a problem for you. So I almost feel like if this is if you're going around a track in a car and there's a lot of potholes, and you can't avoid all the potholes, you're going to hit some potholes here, certain potholes there. So it's a bad track. You're just going to constantly have problems with the car because you have to drive around this track with all these potholes. I can see you saying, all right, we have to stick with this track, but a new pattern we could actually add in is like every time around the track, we try to fill, 6 or 8 of these potholes. And sooner or later, even though, it's only a temporary patch here and there, if we keep doing it, it should be a thing that we can overcome over time. We'll have to keep an eye on it. We'll have to keep patching it. But it should improve to the point where we're not constantly having a destroyed car every time we go one time around the track. I hope that makes sense. Because I feel like you're looking at this like, yeah, this pattern is happening. This is who they are. This is a beat-up track. But we can put in these patterns over top of it to keep correcting it, to keep trying to make it better, so that even though we have to keep constantly working on it, we can at least make it better so it isn't as hard every time around. I hope that makes sense. Because I feel you having to go forward with your partner. With the Knight of Swords and call them out on what they're doing. I feel like you have the Knight of Swords because you're going to have to call them out on what they're doing. The challenge here I'm noticing is how fast it comes forward. And the true love come to me. This is the challenge. The challenge is to not end up in a spot where you feel your partner is slipping away from you, and you're also feeling like they're not paying attention to you, and you're feeling that moment of panic, maybe. Not panic, but of desperateness. Kind of like, I could use you in my life a little more. We're together. You're supposed to be here. What are you doing? Just, I feel like there could be a quick moment on your side where you just hit this moment where you're just like, where are you? Where have you been? Why aren't you talking to me? Like a moment of frustration. That's what I'm coming at. It could come forward very quickly with a moment of frustration because you want them near you and you're kind of missing them and they're sliding to the side. They're kind of fading off and you're just like, where are you? Where did you go? Like, I'm in this relationship with you because I want you around. Do you not understand that? And I feel like that's the trick with the Knight of Swords. They're saying, hopefully you come forward to them before you hit that moment of frustration. Because it will happen. Hopefully this reading is actually giving you that heads up to like come forward to them now or sooner, so that you don't end up waiting for that moment of frustration where you're just frustrated with them and you're coming forward like, where are you? Why did you go way over there? I'm in this relationship because I want you here. Like, I need you here. We're in this together. Like, hello, come on. So hopefully you're coming forward before you hit that moment of frustration. That is your challenge card. You don't have to wait to that moment. They're just saying hopefully you come forward before that moment. Because what happens from that is I'm getting your partner has authenticity with the Eight of Cups. Them addressing and trying to move away from a bad pattern. A pattern that may have served them in other situations or in the past, but trying to move away from that pattern, at least with you. And they're coming forward honestly about what they're feeling and why they're doing what they're doing. And if they thought you were busy or they thought they were in the way, they're just trying to get out of the way. And you're just like, you're not in the way. You're supposed to be there. You're not in my way. Sometimes I'm frustrated. Just because I'm frustrated, that doesn't mean I'm frustrated with you. Even though right now I am frustrated with you. I feel you coming forward with that. You're matching the authenticity. I feel like you're matching it. But they are coming forward with why they're doing what they're doing and how they're feeling and all the other stuff. You're matching it. You're talking it out with them. The Fool card is their challenge card. They need to be more optimistic that this could go better. More optimism is needed on their side. More, like for example, if they're skulking away, not skulking away, I don't want to use that. Or if they're fading away because they think they're in the way, they need to be more optimistic and realize they're supposed to be there. They're not in the way. They just need to be more active in helping maybe. Or just, being there in case you do need them. What makes things better is them engaging more with you. Them engaging more with you and realizing that you want them there. The Star card to me is them realizing that you want them there. Like, I feel like you might be like, well, of course I want them there. Why would I not want them there? I'm not in this relationship just for the fun of it. I want them there. They need to realize that more is what I'm getting. Them engaging more, them realizing they're wanted. I feel them being a lot more attentive to you, realizing this. This could be a pattern that they've dragged in from some other part of life. This is just something that's happening to your relationship. I'm feeling them just engaging with you more and realizing you want them there makes things a lot better for both of you, especially them, actually, because I don't feel like you're doing that bad. I just feel like they could do a little better emotionally. What makes things better for you is when that starts happening, I feel you reinforcing that or encouraging them, realizing they need that little bit of encouragement, having no problem doing that. You just sticking with that and just making that one of those patterns that's fixing that track that keeps going around with all the potholes. You encouraging that when you get a chance, just every now and then throwing something out there, maybe more constantly than not. It's not that big a deal for you, and it's paying off in dividends, as time passes. So I feel you doing that. I don't feel that's hard for you. It's just realizing that that's a good thing to do and not feeling like, you're just giving something lip service to give something lip service. That in this situation, it's actually a good thing. That actually reinforces to your partner, like, no, I really want you here. I do want you here. That's why I'm in this relationship with you. That's how it feels. I do feel this is getting better. Alright, so hopefully that hits in a good way for those who it does hit for. I think we're good for Sagittarius in a relationship. Let's do Sagittarian singles. What do we have for Sagittarian singles? Messages for Sagittarian singles. What empowering information do we have for Sagittarians that are single to help them move forward in a way for them to see the truth and to get into a situation that they want to get into? Page came up again. Chariot came up again. The Success card came up. And ooh, this might be a real good one. Five of Cups is here, but I feel like that might be a transitory moment. Another card is forcing it. The Nine of Cups is also forcing its way out of the deck. I feel like that's more now than where you're going. I feel like that's more now than where you're going, just to be fair. Yeah, okay. Alright, so I feel like there's somebody you would already like to be in your life. I don't feel like it's working at the moment. Like you have your eye on somebody, it's just not happening. I'm getting the Hanged Man in the environment. This person's not moving. They're not regressing, but they're not progressing. There's just nothing going on here. You might be sending even text messages, talking to them in person, but you're not getting anywhere. You're not getting anywhere with this person. I feel like it's been like this for a while. When I'm seeing the Nine of Wands here in the past, it feels like it's been here like this for a while. And it's kind of like, is it an immovable situation, or what's the deal? This is where you're coming into the center with the Five of Cups. I feel the Five of Cups actually matches for the center here. You got the Nine of Swords with the Page of Swords. All that, including the Five of Cups, I feel like that fits right here too. All of this is telling me, due to the non-action, the non-movement from this other person, and you've been very giving with it, is what I'm getting. Very forgiving, very giving. The Six of Pentacles is telling me you've been willing to work with this person. It's not like you've been making it difficult. I don't feel like you've been difficult in any sense. Like you've been hanging them, like 3 times a day, like stoning them. Like, come on, let's go do something. Like you haven't been like that. I feel like you've been very patient, very giving, trying to go their speed, whatever they want. That is fine. It's all good. And I'm getting here the Page with the 9 and then the Five of Cups there. You're kind of just like, I just need to see it for what it is. If they really had any interest, they'd be moving towards me. You're feeling like, sure, they like me enough, but not enough to move forward. I'm getting this is hard for you. Because it's kind of like, that's why these negative cards are in the center. Just kind of like, you're thinking that what it is, it's never going to change. You got the Four of Pentacles. I don't see this changing. That's your thoughts. Like, I don't see how this is going to get any better. If they were interested, they'd move forward, and they're doing the Hanged Man. The thing is with the Hanged Man, I always say you can't live in this state. Sooner or later, you're going to have to move. That person is going to have to make a choice. It's either go away or go forward. So we're going a little farther into the future here. Because this seems like the current energy. If you're dealing with this person you like, you're trying to be open and easy for them, but they're not really moving. They're not doing anything. And you're thinking, you know what, maybe this is just not here. Maybe I'm just fooling myself. Maybe it's just because they're not that into me. Whatever. You're moving forward. This is going to take a while, so that's the current energy. In the future, what we're waiting to see happen is the King of Pentacles with the Six of Wands, and right on top of it, the Romance card. But this person is ready to go forward, and I'm not one for pining, so like if this is hitting with you at the very, very most 2 to 3 months. After 2 to 3 months, I would let it go. But if this is really hitting with you, you're going to get what you want. This person is going to come in, and they're going to start going forward in a very stable, let's build a relationship type way. Romance is going to kick right in when they're ready, when they finally move out of that Hanged Man position. And I feel like when they finally move forward, that's a situation where it almost feels fairy tale-like. Just kind of like you're in disbelief. It feels really good. You've been wanting this. You wanted them to reciprocate your feelings. They seem to be doing that. It's just not like you're questioning it, but you feel like you're living in like a fantasy world is kind of how it feels. Just like, wow, is this really happening? Like, am I floating in a cloud? Because am I dreaming? Is this really happening? It's just kind of disbelief, a little disbelief. After that moment, like I get the King of Pentacles. This person is looking to cement something in. Finally. It's like they don't really want to date, they want to start a relationship. It's like they want to skip dating and go right into a relationship. They want to start a relationship. That seems to be, that's your success. That's your success card. After that, you got the star card with the Empress. Empress? Yep, the Empress. And then the Harvest. I feel like this goes right into a relationship, literally. It's like you have nothing, 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 nothing. When they finally are ready, they're coming towards you, they're ready to go, but they don't really want to go through dating. They just want to get right in. They're like, do you want to try a relationship? And I feel like you're kind of like, yeah, I guess. I guess. From 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds, but okay. Yeah. Sure. It locks right in. The harvest happens. Like you get right into a relationship. It's going from 0 to 60. It doesn't happen right away. Like you're in this place where you're kind of like nothing, 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 and then 0 to 60. It just feels like it goes really quick when it finally does lock in. When it finally does start going forward, I should say. Is that it? That's it. Very dramatic, but hey, if it works, it works. Thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.